Hey there! Welcome back. This is the Rollers Guild. If you meant to click on something else, stay here. It'll be fun.
Please stay.
Is this a good start?
Stay.
Should we keep going?
Yes.
You're really good.
Yes.
Please stay. And while you're at it, there's a little bell if you're here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit that bell so you can know when we are going to post things, because this is not our usual content. This is a mini-series run by me. Hey, Matt. Giving Ben, our usual DM, a chance to breathe and plan our next game. And play. But the rest of these clowns, you've heard them before, but we're all playing new folks. So it's been fun so far, I think. No one's rage quit yet. So maybe this will be the time. Stick around and find out. Also, we are podcasting. There's a podcast version. Many of you might be aware of that because you are listening to us on that podcast right now. Thanks. We also have several different social media channels that are pretty darn cool. That is TikTok. That is Instagram. That is anything else?
Twitter.
Hey, there's Twitter. There's 1, 2, 3. You should make sure if you are on those platforms to follow, comment, interact in any way that you want, because we like you and we like you to stick around. You remember my plead at the beginning? So, with that being said, is there anything that I missed, or do we need to retake this entire thing?
No, we're still going. Keep going.
All right then.
This is the chaotic energy people are here for.
Yeah, you bet. All right. Well, with that chaos, let's dive on in to the next whatever's happening. Last time. There we go. This story began on the road. A talented group of adventurers were hired to bring the young Count Gareth to the capital city of Yolvita for an official swearing-in ceremony. While traveling, this caravan reached a sleepy mountain community called Pike. After an, let's call it, energetic arrival, you all settled in for the evening at the local inn, run by a large, loud man named Rufus. As night fell, the party had learned small tidbits of information about the area. The far mountain across the lake was a dangerous place infamous for misfortune, its peak shrouded in a unnatural cloud. There were religious and spiritual iconography of sorts all around that was unfamiliar. The people here were kind, if not a little distant, but did eventually warm up to you as night fell. But in the early morning, there was a new darkness. The moon vanished, the stars blinked out, and a chilled blanket swept over Pike. Horrific shrieks filled the blackness as Rufus informed you that the community was under attack by something called screamers. The monsters hunted you until 4 of them burst into the inn. You warded them off, but Rufus was killed in the fight. After destroying one of these screamers, they all tensed and vanished with one final shriek. For fleeting moments, after many of you experienced a new terror of sorts within your minds, unimaginable loss, pain, suffering, unique to each of you. You were able to revive Rufus after the battle was over, reuniting him with his son, Kit. But as a new thought crept into your mind, you rushed upstairs to see what had become of your mission, the Count. All but one of his guards lay dead, the last informing you that the Count Gareth had been taken by these monsters. So, the moon once again shines above you, but it's dulling as the skies begin to lighten. Dawn is approaching. So, what do you do?
All right. Now,
Real quick, can I make a medicine check to just like stop the guard's ear from gushing blood?
Absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead.
17.
17, that is enough. You tend to him, tell him to calm down, get some bandages that you have on you, on your person, maybe a couple, rip off a piece of his robing, and you stop his bleeding, and we'll go ahead and say you stabilize him.
And then I go downstairs.
Yeah. He slowly comes after you after a bit, and is just kind of slumped against the wall, trying to process what on earth just happened.
after they get downstairs, I'll say, all right, so I spoke to the Oracle briefly earlier this evening, but I think given the present troubles, it may be worth me speaking to her more directly than usual. If the spell works correctly, I should be able to ask her 5 questions of a single word answer variety. I am open to suggestions. Some that I am thinking about asking are trying to confirm that the screamers come from Mount Tempest, asking if they serve a master of some sort, asking if they targeted the princeling intentionally, and asking if the statue in the village has anything to do with the screamers or their master if they have one. Those are 4. I could ask one more, or if any of you have a suggestion for a different question, I might ask.
Well, we could probably find out if the streamers come from the mountain, probably by the townsfolk. They might have seen them.
Yeah, we
No.
could ask Rufus first if he knows whether or not they come from the mountain. But maybe you could ask the Oracle how to save the victims. I don't know if one word would suffice, but maybe.
Perhaps I could ask, is it too late to save the Count?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So otherwise we just go. Oops, sorry guys.
Yeah, then we just go home.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't get paid, but
Well,
Yeah, I mean, there's other jobs.
I would be inclined to remove the screamers from this village.
sure.
Regardless.
yeah.
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 We can still help with the screamers, but we don't need to be focused on the Count then.
Priority. We need to prioritize.
Does someone want to ask Rufus or someone else if the screamers come from the mountain before I try to speak to the Oracle?
Yes.
It will take me a few minutes to get set up.
I am gonna go ask some town folk.
I mean,
Mm.
it is. They might still be asleep. If you're
I'm
just asking random.
Well,
Yeah,
there are
it-
other people here in the inn with
True.
us.
If you're gonna ask other townsfolk, I'll go with you in case anyone needs any healing.
Well, I'm glad that you're coming with me because I'm looking for that woman we saw down by the lake last night.
Oh wow, I totally forgot about her.
Yeah.
I'd like to come along too. I can also help with healing. Unless, do any of you need?
Oh shit! Did anyone get hurt?
I mean, tis a flesh wound.
A little bit.
Here, let's beady boop boop boop.
So if I am not asking if the screamers come from Mount Tempest, I still only have 4 questions.
Well, we could ask if that woman that you guys saw is connected to it.
Well, she was very suspiciously washing her laundry. So
Okay, well, let's not victimize someone who's just doing their daily chores.
who washes
if anything,
laundry
she
at
was-
night?
I think we were wandering at night. Number one.
No. We were bathing in the lake. We were walking back and she was
She was
washing
doing
her
what?
laundry.
Okay, all right, let's just go.
I would maybe not be inclined to ask about this woman unless there's a definite reason to do so. I think the statue is odd enough to ask about that.
Yeah. Macintosh is gonna lean into Ham and be like, "We're definitely gonna find the woman."
We're definitely doing that. We're definitely doing
We also asked some people about the mountain before. We asked at least Rufus, and he didn't say anything about screamers. So you might still need to ask about whether or not they come from the mountain.
How about this? I will save 1 open spot, and if I have a follow-up question given an answer that I get, then I will ask that follow-up question. And if I don't, then I will ask if the screamers come from Mount Tempest.
Great plan. I can go talk to Rufus if you all want.
I'll come with you.
All right.
And I will go upstairs where it is quiet and attempt this spell. As a quick warning, if the spell does not go off correctly, I will be temporarily mad.
Like angry?
No, as in insane.
How long is that?
Until I rest to recover from
Okay.
the mental ordeal, which for me would be 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, I could use a nap, so might work out in our favor.
You go insane. Might be okay.
Right.
Fantastic.
All right. So Macintosh, Ham, and Kyela are gonna go
Mhm.
out.
Yes. Trix and Tamara are going and talking to Rufus. Phineas heading upstairs to maybe become mad. Any preference on what we do first?
Nope.
I'm gonna roll a dice because this is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes,
That's the
it
one to
is.
re-roll. That's the first one. We're going outside. Ham, Kyle, and Macintosh, you go and you step outside. Dawn is arriving, so the sky is lightening. You are in the middle of mountains, so you don't have any clear sunlight left yet, rather. And you see that as you take a few tentative steps out, you do see, well, there's no one around. Maybe town's still asleep.
Is there any sign of like struggles outside that we can see, like from those screamers, or like any damage to other buildings?
Yeah, give me a give me either, ooh, this is one of those situations. Investigation, perception, or survival if you're looking to see which way they may have gone.
Ooh, I'm gonna
Like
do a
looking-
survival.
Okay,
Can I assist?
sure.
Okay. Non-natural 20.
A natural 20. As you are looking around, you do notice that there are no signs of struggle. Noticeably absent. You see, after a few moments, you are able to pick up your own footprints from where you came back inside last night. And there are no other footprints or tracks mingled with that. You do look up, you go around the side of the building to the window where the Count's window was open. And you do see that several of the like very roughly made shingles that are on this roof, there are several that are knocked askew, as if something or perhaps someone was dragged. But as you look around, you don't see any that trail, if you will, goes to the edge of the roof and doesn't begin again somewhere else. You try to make your search pattern a little wider. And you see with the non-natural 20, as you are looking around in general, because this is also encompassing what else might be going on. It's kind of a pseudo perception check as well. You and Ham and Macintosh all collectively recognize that every single home and building, and there aren't that many, but all of them, similarly to what Rufus did, have their curtains closed or shutters. Everything seems to be locked up and hasn't reopened yet.
Ham is going to start yelling out and just say, "They're gone! They're all gone! You can unlock your doors now."
I don't know if that's gonna work, Ham.
No, they weren't saying that. The screamers weren't saying anything. So
I guess that's true.
Ham, make me a persuasion check at disadvantage. As the new stranger in town
Yeah.
calls out, "The danger's
Trust
gone."
me.
Trust
Okay.
us. We're not screamers.
at disadvantage, it's a
Uh-huh.
16.
16.
That's so good for disadvantage.
You are quite earnest. You do see there are a couple curtains that ripple or ruffle slightly, but nobody comes out.
Cool.
I'm actually going to put a pin in this one because something else does happen behind you. But we're going to rewind quickly to Tamara and Trix. You guys head on over to Rufus, who is leaning against the bar. Kit is supporting him, basically, even though he's sitting in a chair. Kit is like tending to and just very quiet, getting things within that are still within reach for Rufus. And like Kit gets him a drink and gives it to him. And it seems to be that is how Rufus is recovering, with some ale. And he looks over at both of you and just kind of vaguely gives a nod.
How are you doing?
You don't need to speak.
I'm
Just
alive.
You sure are.
I'm alive.
I
didn't
really
think-
hope you didn't make a pit stop in my hometown on your way back. But if you did, I'm really sorry about it.
It looks like his mind is trying to work out what you said a little bit and then quickly goes, "I don't have the strength for this," and disregards, just moves right along from whatever may have been referenced. Somewhere in the back of his mind, a mental note was made that he might think about later. Takes a drink.
Do you feel like you could answer some questions for us? If not, That's fine. But we just
If I can, sure. I mean, what do you want? We don't know much about those fucking things. He covers up Kit's ears.
how often do they come?
Honestly, I don't know. It's not a regular thing, but it's always the same, always that black and the quiet. And then those shrieks. And then someone's gone in the morning.
Do you know roughly how many times it's happened in the last year, let's say?
Thinks for a moment. 3, 4, maybe. It has picked up a bit. Started, I don't know, when I was a boy. He looks over at he looks over at Kit and looks back to you and kind of nods at Kit and says, when I was about his age. That's when they started. It's all we've ever really known since.
Was there something new that happened? When, like, do you remember? I know it was a long time ago, but, like, do you remember anything new that happened around the time that the Screamers started?
Pauses for a moment and says, I mean, nothing new ever happens around here. Folks will come through, but then they'll keep going.
What about the statue? Did the statue in town come up around the same time?
Oh, the shrine out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always been there as long as I know.
Do you happen to know where they might take the victims? Maybe to the mountain?
That's what we think. It's that cursed mountain. But we don't know. We might see a struggle here or there, the dead bodies, but there's always one, sometimes two folks gone.
And
He kind of like shakes himself for a moment and says, right, we gotta make count. We gotta keep count.
I feel like maybe all of your townspeople are fine. You know the fancy guy that we came with?
The money bags?
Yeah.
He's
not in his room, and his window's open, and 3 out of 4 of the guards were dead. So we have a feeling that Oka was taken. Hopefully for you guys, that's it. But we need to find him.
kind of nods and uses it kind of holds out a hand, and Kit struggles, like drags the great axe over to him and like kind of props it up upside down, and Rufus begins using it kind of as a walking stick, a very lethal, very dangerous walking stick. And he kind of motions to the two of you and says, we should head outside and keep count. Make sure that
I feel like you should rest.
We need to know. And he very slowly, very teeters his way towards the door. You see Kit supporting him until he leaves for a moment, kind of jumps up, grabs a little bell that is like hung on a hook beside the door.
Do you
Brings
want me
that back
to?
with him.
Do you want me to try to help you move a bit at least? I mean, I don't want to scare you, but maybe I can help a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Can I
Take
try to
anything.
cast telekinesis on him to like help him move?
Oh,
That
yeah.
is not the way you normally use the spell, but why
No,
not?
not at all. Is there a save or anything associated with that? I mean, he's willing.
No,
Does
not
it
really.
say just an object?
I can restrain them, but I'm not restraining him. I'm just kind of making him float a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna say just in general, what is your charisma is your spellcasting modifier? I think so. Go ahead and just make like a general like Charisma.
+5.
yeah, charisma check, and go ahead and just make me a general like charisma check, add your proficiency bonus.
I mean, it wasn't great, but I got 14.
Yeah, that's good enough. You don't like send him. You have control of the spell. I don't know if the spell has actual parameters for this. But you kind of cast the spell and kind of like scoop him up as like he's sitting in an invisible chair. And he's like, all right. As you just kind of slowly begin to drift him out.
Great. Do you want me to wild magic surge?
Absolutely, I do. And just because I'm not interested in fireballs going off on kids, Kit follows him.
I got a 21. Let's see what that does.
21.
Creatures have...
Fantastic.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not in combat.
In the next minute,
That should be
your
good.
spells are extra good right now.
Okay.
If there's a saving throw involved. But Rufus drifts through the doorway. Kit is confused but still very stoic and follows. And as they reach the outside, Rufus, okay. It looks over and we see Ham and Kyella and Macintosh, who Ham has just yelled out. They're like, everyone come out, come on. That same window, Ham, that you saw that ruffled a little bit, people do come out, but it's once Kit rings a bell. It's kind of like a cowbell, and he starts hitting it. And it seems that is this town's signal. And once that bell is rung, grammar, the doors open and people immediately start coming out and looking around and checking for their friends, and there's just a bit of a commotion that happens as people are going around. 1, 2, you all right? All right. And where's, and just like making sure and keeping count and trying to see who might be gone or who is a bloody mess right now.
Do I notice the old woman we saw last night?
After a moment, you do. You do. She is slowly coming out of a house.
One of her houses.
One of her houses.
This is
her mini
you
house.
guys.
She's
She does her own laundry, but has multiple.
Does she look
homes.
injured at all?
She doesn't. Not very many people do, actually. There are a couple that you get some stories of people that tripped in panic or injured themselves trying to barricade themselves within. But for the most part, it seems as people are telling stories, you just kind of listen in around you. The people around here know when screamers attack, barricade, stay quiet, and wait is the only survival tactic that they have. And still at that point, it seems that someone is always taken.
But nobody else seems. Do we hear any
No one else,
whispering?
as you are waiting, as
Did
you are
anybody-
looking around and listening, doesn't seem like anyone else was taken this time.
Was
Just your boy.
anybody else? Did anybody else have an interaction with the screamers, or was it just
You begin asking that question, and go up to a young couple and ask, and they do tell you that they saw something, and their door like rattled a little bit and was starting to splinter as something was starting to come in, and then stopped. And it was soon after that, as you kind of piece things together and talk to folks, you do piece together that based upon the rough timelines that you're hearing, everyone then, or they all then went to the inn. So in a very strange way, your group, maybe that creaky step that you had a mini war with, may have actually saved someone else in this village. The old woman, since she was of note, has a similar story. You hear that she did, she's telling someone else this, and you overhear. She did trip a little bit on the stair, but isn't injured.
Does this old woman seem like one of the oldest people in the town? Like person in the town?
She does. She does.
So she
She
probably
is quite bent over with age.
has.
Yeah, I want to go over and ask her some questions.
So Macintosh and Ham go walk over to this old lady.
Hi, excuse us.
She looks up at you and, yes.
I think we saw you at the lake last night. We were just bathing and I think we saw you doing laundry or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was you.
Yeah, just us. We're just coming through town right now on business. And our business is kind of taking a pit stop at this town, it seems. We were wondering if we could maybe just ask you a couple questions as someone who looks like a native to this town.
Okay. Sure. What can I, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Was she the one that stopped at that statue last night?
She was.
Okay.
First of all, what's your name? I'm Ham.
Oh. Ham, Edith.
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 Not
Yeah.
Edith. Edith.
No.
I'm Macintosh,
Edith.
after the apple.
I'm Ham. Like ham.
Like the ham.
It's not spelt like that. It's a whole thing.
Apples and pigs. How nice.
I couldn't help notice you were at the statue last night. It's a beautiful statue. Can I ask
Oh, yes.
what the history of it is?
I visit the shrine every evening, praying that those things don't come down that evening.
It seems like it didn't work.
Oh,
You say that, and like you saw that washing over in her eyes, but as she hears someone else say that, she just looks up at you and just her eyes just fill with tears.
I'm gonna take her hands, just like at least like one of her hands, like very kindly.
She has two.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, I think maybe because when I said it, I was like, maybe two would be like too much.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay,
what's
yeah,
the
you take one of her
comforting
hands.
gesture,
She
you know
has-
what I mean?
she has
I'm
one
like,
hand.
fully hands on with this
Yeah, you
woman.
go to take her hands and only find one.
I don't want to assume that anyone has two.
Sure.
You know. I'll take one of her hands. I'll be like, oh,
Mhm.
please, I don't listen to him. He's can be a little crude and a little immature. But you know, as someone who's also very religious, you do what you can. Sometimes, you know, the gods just don't always respond well. You know, it is what it is. But I'm sure that the townspeople really appreciate all the hard work that you're doing.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Ooh, could I not?
I mean,
13.
yeah. See, you do see, and you recognize this. You have consoled folks going through similar moments of crises with their faith many times over, and you do see there is still doubt because of the true facts around it, but there is some comfort that she seems to latch on with your words, and she just takes a steadying breath and nods at you.
Can I ask what the statue is of?
Yes, that is the Moon Mother.
Oh.
She sees all and watches over us.
Now, Edith, sorry about being crude. I'm trying to work on that. How long has this been happening?
Oh, since 30, 40 years or so. It just started happening.
So
We never knew why, but it happens enough, and you just know, right? You just feel it. And she like looks at the mountain.
Do you think there's maybe any connection between the mountain and the screamers? We kind of noticed as we're coming in, it's a little unusual looking.
Yes. No proof, but
As a woman of faith,
I think so.
Has anyone tried finding the source of these screamers?
Yes. People have traveled to Tempest Cradle many times, but rarely do they come back. And if they do, some are mute, some are not the same. Just speak of strange things. It's a cursed place. She kind of resituates herself and kind of looks at you, Macintosh, and asks, perhaps if two devout people were to pray, but perhaps we could do something.
I would be more than happy to come to the shrine with you.
She nods and kind of leads you over to that shrine and leads you in very soft, very private murmurings and prayer. And she offers whatever things seem to be on her at the moment. It seems like she wasn't quite prepared to come to at a time of like offering in the prayers. She kind of fumbles a bit looking for something before putting in, there's a small pouch that she leaves in, and she actually rips off a piece of her clothing and lays it in this offering.
I'll offer like a gold piece or two, and then I'll also like rip a little piece of my clothing in solidarity.
Yeah. As the gold like clinks in, her eyes grow wide and then reset.
Edith isn't so faithful.
She turns into Gollum.
I'll just kind of turn to her afterwards and be like, my friends and I have had a lot of experience in, fighting a lot of things, and I promise you we'll do something about this.
Thank you. Perhaps your coming is a blessing after all. Anyone else? Macintosh, you didn't go over and inspect the shrine before, right? That was just Kayla?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyone else hopping, bopping around before we jump to Phineas? Or maybe Mad Phineas? off to Phineas we go. Phineas, you step past the gruesome scene that was the Count's room, and probably was Kit's room. And go to the room that has been rented out for your group.
Yeah, I'll go in, I'll close the door, I'll shut the windows. I'm gonna try to make it like as dark in this room as possible.
Sure.
I'll snuff out all the lights and stuff, and then I'll sit in sort of a meditative position. And this is my first time casting Contact Other Plane. I have spoken to the Oracle before with some of my other divination spells, but this spell has always had a reputation for being more direct, but also more dangerous. So I'll sort of tamp down my nervousness and cast the spell. And I have to make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw. So that's what we're doing. Okay. That is a 16. So,
16.
that was
All
close.
right.
That was close.
You feel madness chattering away at you, but you are able to discipline your mind.
Yeah, I sort of I feel I don't know, it's a weird I imagine a very strange sensation for him, but eventually I do feel the connection with the Oracle.
And remind me, this is yes, no, maybe answers, or yes, no?
One word.
One word. Oh,
So
not even just yes, no.
it
Got
could
it.
be yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant,
North, south, east,
unclear.
west.
Yeah.
One word. Ooh.
It does say if a
Just a curse
one-word
word.
answer would be misleading, the GM might instead offer a short phrase as an answer.
Got it.
So this spell
Nice. Gives me some wiggle
has
room.
to be intentionally clear.
Okay. Yeah, in the darkness, you feel that same presence after a moment.
Hello again, Oracle. I know we just spoke, but there seems to be some danger affecting this town, and I would like to solve it if possible, especially considering our employer was taken last night. The townsfolk speak of these creatures that attack us and call them screamers. Do these screamers serve a master?
There is a pause. And you do hear that same voice say, yes.
Were the screamers sent by their master to target Count Gareth intentionally?
Immediately, you hear oh, yes.
Right. In previous attacks, the townsfolk say the screamers would take people. Were the screamers' previous targets selected intentionally as well?
No, not exactly.
there is a shrine here in the village of Pike to some sort of deity. Is this statue connected to the Screamers or their master?
No. No. Definitely not. You amuse me.
Yes. Very amusing when the fate of a town is at risk. I do love how forthcoming you are when towns are at risk. Something you are famously very good at being. My last question then, Oracle. Is it already too late to save the Count?
After this last question, you still hear chuckling softly, kind of echoing around. And as you then pose this next question, you catch out of the corner of your eye, almost like a Cheshire cat kind of just smile that is just very amused, that then vanishes as you finish your next question and says, oh, now I've forgotten the proper response to it. Can you ask the question again? The DM forgot the proper response. Wording is important here.
Is it already too late to save the Count?
Is it too late to save him? No. But you don't have much time left.
Well, until next time, Oracle.
You feel a bit of like the room itself is kind of gasping for air. And you feel a puff of wind, but who knows where it came from. It's dark in here. The spell completes.
Well, I'll go out the door. I'll go outside. I assume, most everybody's sort of gathering in the town
Yes.
square still. So
Yes,
I'll-
you pick up the same information
Yeah.
as everyone else has learned.
I'll find my friends. And I'll say, so good news. I'm not insane.
Oh, thank God.
That's something someone who's
That is
insane would say.
something.
That's
No,
true.
Last time that happened, you didn't say
I've
anything.
never done. Okay. To prove that I am in good spirits,
Do a backflip.
It was a joke.
I was going to say I would love to tell you all a joke. What is a corpse's favorite currency?
Blood.
Cryptocurrency.
What's cryptocurrency?
What's that?
What?
You hear a townsfolk boo before falling over dead.
What?
Anyway, so I was able to speak to the Oracle, and I have gathered the following information. The Screamers do serve a master. There is someone or something that controls them. They were sent to target Princeling intentionally, but previous attacks have not targeted specific individuals intentionally.
That's weird.
Well, my theory as of now is that the master of these screamers has just generally has required bodies for something, has required townsfolk for something, some purpose. Perhaps they are even being turned into the screamers. Just a thought, it's possible. But their master hasn't needed any specific individual. But now that the heir to the throne is traveling nearby, the Screamer's master has decided that it may be beneficial to take him for some purpose. I do recall last night I spoke to the Oracle separately to ask if the mountain was dangerous. And she said, I believe I am quoting exactly here, that we would encounter vicious, hungry, ambitious, vengeful, lonely, ruinous, weeping danger.
Oh.
So, putting that information together, I am going to assume that the Screamer's master perhaps has some vendetta against the Count or the royal family generally. So, that's just a theory.
Vicious and lonely?
That
Matt.
is what she said.
Do we know anything about the royal family's connections? Like, do they have a specific like god that they worship, or like maybe an interesting tidbit of history?
Maybe a history check.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a history check.
Great.
Too.
We have also been told if they had any enemies or anything, sort of in the same vein as that. 19.
21.
Okay. You were informed that, kind of to answer Eva's question as well, you were told that you were hired in particular because the circumstances surrounding the previous countess's death were a little mysterious. Some suspected foul play, but there was never any proof. It isn't a absolutely like binding magical ceremony or anything that the Count is headed to in Yolvita, in the capital, but it is tradition, and it is something that quote unquote needs to happen for him to fully, ascend to his power. With the 19 and 20, you guys kind of help each other, kind of puzzling and reviewing your facts for a few moments. Your group is from another continent, but this continent and the one that you are on do have fairly regular communications with one another. You are aware of some of the noble houses, their lineages, and you do maybe remember that this house in particular, your Count's full name is Count Gareth Toll, T-O-L. And the Toll house, I wish I hadn't done that, I just heard it. But okay, we're moving on, I've said it. The Toll house
They're
does
famous
have,
for cookies.
apparently they have a secret recipe that I didn't think of till it came out of my mouth this moment.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. But this family line does have flickerings of magical sorcery bloodline that pop up now and then. You aren't aware that this count has any, but the House of Toll, fucking hell, the Toll lineage does have those crop up now and then.
Yeah, we'll share that, I guess, and then I'll say, so if the screamers are being controlled by someone magically inclined, it could be that the magic in the Count's bloodline is necessary for something, but I'm not sure. The statue is not directly connected to the screamers or their master. Did any of you find anything out about it?
Not too much. All we know is it's the Moon Mother, and it just seems to be like an all-seeing, guided sort of thing.
Would I have heard of the Moon Mother as a god, or is this a very local thing?
Go ahead and hit me with a religion check.
26.
20. Holy crap. 26.
Plus 9.
Oof. This is a local thing. You happened to brush up on it in your studies before heading out to this region. That there are a couple local, not quite cults, but there are very tiny, almost splinters of the rest of the pantheon that you are far more familiar with, that are much more common throughout the world. There is some debate as to whether it is a separate entity from others. And so the quote-unquote Moon Mother itself isn't something you are particularly familiar with. But you are familiar with other clusters of deities that do follow same or similar ideals, I guess. And they don't seem to be, of what you know with the 26, none of them seem to be malicious. More neutral.
Okay.
But Moon Mother herself, you don't know. And as you are finishing up that thought,
Yeah.
you see standing beside the statue is a figure. Cloaked, hooded, bent over, hands out, no offering plate, but in the exact same position that the statue is. And the figure looks up at you. And for an instant before it vanishes. Was that damn Cheshire Cat grin? It's gone.
I'm not going to mention anything about that right
Sure.
now. But I will go on to say, well, if the statue is of a moon deity, then it would make sense that perhaps the screamers are antithetical to said deity, which is why they put out the moon at night. Well, my final question to the Oracle was whether it was too late to save the princeling, and it is not, but we should get moving sooner rather than later. She implied we did not have an exceptional amount of time to rescue him.
Should we rest up a little and then head to the mountain?
I don't know if we have adequate time to rest up.
I'm gonna like hit somebody next to me. Be like, excuse me. Hi, sorry.
Yeah.
Just really quick. About how long does it take to get to the other side of the lake?
Just a couple hours,
Okay.
maybe 2.
Okay.
Unless you got a lame horse.
Sure. Yeah, that would slow you down. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do we still have the carriage?
That's what I was thinking.
Well,
The carriage is still there.
Okay.
there
Okay.
is only one surviving guard.
Yeah.
I doubt he would protest too much if we told him we needed to take the carriage.
Yeah, the
to
last
save
time
the
any of you
house.
saw him, he is still leaned against the wall, hanging on.
I
Oh
can
my
drive.
God.
He is taking a breather.
Does he? Oh, he's okay though. He's like alive.
Yeah, he was stabilized. Tomorrow stabilized him. Now, people are helping each other. No one else is in danger. There are some folks that are carrying out the individual from the back of the inn, and a couple of the guards' bodies from upstairs, and laying them out and preparing them for
And
burial.
Martin, that boy dead.
Martin survived. It was a
Martin
different guy
survived.
that-
Oh, it was just a random townsperson.
Yeah, it was a random dude.
Random
Okay.
drunk guy.
A random dude the DM didn't even name, so
Yeah.
don't worry.
That Ben said it was okay that we could just leave him.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Unless I see that he has a son, I don't care.
There's a child crying.
How many can we fit in the carriage? It was just
Um,
the count.
it was just the count and
like-
one other guard inside before.
Okay.
Many can fit on top.
Could 2 people can
Yeah.
sit in the front. You could fit 4 uncomfortably in the carriage.
I feel like maybe Trix could be on top.
Trix is pretty
Trix-
small. Someone
Trix is
wants
small.
to just sort of carry me. I'm fine with
Trix
that.
is small, Tammy is small.
Yeah.
So, could we
Okay.
technically have like 3 people on the front bench if I'm driving?
Yeah.
Can I please be on the front of the carriage because I'm 6 feet tall?
I'm also requesting to be outside the carriage.
And then Tammy can sit on our lap and
Yeah.
And I
drive.
can help tame the animals.
Perfect.
Right. Well,
Hopefully.
we start getting loaded up. I'll go tell the guard where we're going.
Sure. You tell the guard he has no problem. He is in no state to join you for the quest, but he is very thankful and says, should you if you get back and if it works, I'll tell everyone what you did. They'll probably increase your pay.
Cool.
I
I
gotta
say how much. No, it's
A
not
lot.
important.
Yeah.
a
It's not
lot. I
important.
ain't no fucking mathematician. A lot.
He can't even
It's not
read.
important.
Before
Yeah, one of those guards couldn't read, but knows the word mathematician.
Is it the same guard?
Yep, it is now.
before we leave, I want to stop and ask Rufus for some food for the road.
Yep,
Preferably
easy enough.
some.
Rufus can hook us up.
Everyone is working now. The entire community now, as word has spread that these adventurers are going to try and stop the Screamers from raiding their home. Everyone is bringing you things. You get some very worn, like, pots and pans from people's houses. Meaning, like, use this if you need to, like, cook dinner. You get a couple extra blankets that, like, people are like, this is the blanket that is on our bed at night. Take it. Keep warm. Like, everyone is just, like, offering you
Did you
all their
wash
stuff
it
and
before?
all their... No, it is not
Oh
washed.
no, thank you.
All their things, all their hope seems to be
In this
being
blanket,
given over
got
to
it.
you and a blanket. A couple people come and they bring horses because the horses that are currently attached to the carriage were slaughtered in the night.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you get new horses,
Good to know.
and pretty soon you are set and ready.
Did the
What are
And the
new
entire
horses
town
name?
is like about to like see you off and wish you well. You see that Edith is kind of like leading this small collection of people and comes over and like comes up to you, Macintosh, and hands you a very small carved wooden token. It's of and you see it's circular. It is of a moon in like partial eclipse with another moon off of it, and hands it to you and says, "May this bring you hope, guidance, and safety."
Thank you.
And she totters back. Yes.
Did the soldiers have anything that will be particularly useful on them that they will no longer be using?
Because they're dead.
They no longer need their long swords, their spears, their shields. They are not anything particularly. They're not better than your adventuring party already has. If you want to grab their rations and such, sure.
Did they have any, like, diamonds, perhaps?
300 gold worth?
Yeah, give me an investigation check as you loot their bodies as the town is trying to bury them.
Any diamond engagement rings?
Yeah, at advantage.
Family
I'm helping.
heirlooms.
Trix is helping.
14.
14. You do get one wedding ring. You get a total of like 60 gold. You do get a little like a crumpled up piece of paper that is the beginnings of a very bad poem.
Oh,
Like
Can you read it
real
to us?
bad. Like
What does it
it's
say?
real bad. It's unfortunately very blood splattered, and like
Oh.
what you can put together from it is the sun shines, your eyes shine,
Aw.
I wish you were mine,
Oh.
Valentine.
Aw,
It
it's
just
beautiful.
seems to be really bad attempts at a rhyme scheme with blood all over it.
I will take the wedding band and, like, whichever guard it came off of, I'm gonna write his name and, like, on a piece of paper and wrap that around the wedding band and stick it in a pocket.
Yeah. Anything else before you guys giddy up?
Nope.
The town sends you off with a couple like claps and a couple like good lucks. There isn't like a hip hip hooray because you know they're terrified and that's not their vibe. You do see Rufus gives you like a very stout cheers from a glass that he's got. Kit runs up to you, Kaela, very quickly and hands you another flower from somewhere.
Thank you.
And just says very quietly, like, come back. And runs back to Rufus.
Well, now
As you
we're
guys
gonna
set
die.
off
Now
on the
Kaea's
road,
gonna die.
continuing your journey, but this time with a different destination. So, the cart bumps along. So you guys head off on the road. It's getting a little rocky. Before, when you went through the yes, exactly, Sam. You fall off the cart, hit your head, and die. Before there was the trees on either side. This time, Pike, being a logging community, has logged this side of its community. However, as you go along, the trees do begin to gather again as you get closer and closer to the mountain. Folks haven't logged here in a while. The road itself starts to climb a little bit, and it gives you all brief pause, you have to remember that someone said the road doesn't go over the mountain, it goes around. As you are kind of skirting around the edge of the lake. You do see, a couple of you, and Kyella especially, you do see evidence of rock slides now and then. As the terrain does get, at times you have the road, a steep hill, and a bit of a drop off on the lower side that, for those of you looking over, might give you some tummy tumbles for a hot second. But the road is wide enough. It seems that it isn't well used. There aren't enough people around for anything to be considered well used around here, but it is maintained. So who is driving? It's Tammy's driving, and then it's Trix and Kyella sitting up front. No, it's Kyella and Macintosh sitting up front. Tamara on lap / in between, guiding the little horses. Great.
As we're going, I'm gonna open up the little window that I know the Princeling opened up before, just so we can all converse. And I'm just gonna throw out there for the whole group. I'll say, so when we reach the mountain itself, does anyone have any thoughts on how we might track where the screamers went?
I should be able to track them now. Because we're pretty confident that they're undead, right?
Yeah, you got a strong. It wasn't like mechanically confirmed, but you got a very strong undead sense.
I should
from them.
theoretically be able to find where they went.
All right. Well, that's helpful.
Do we have anything that quiets us? Susie?
I
No,
don't-
okay, I do want. Okay, so I have scale mail,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like all right, I don't know. I guess I'm just keeping it on.
I think it would be unwise to go into battle without your armor.
I'm just all clinkety clink, you know?
It is what it is.
Okay.
Surprise is sometimes not our strong suit, and we have pulled through in the past.
True.
I mean, as evidenced yesterday, we arrived in town at breakneck pace.
Well, that was kind of a surprise.
I will
Just
say
brute force it.
only a few of us arrived in town at a breakneck.
Some people aren't as fast. During this traveling time, can I say that we took a short rest for anyone that needs a short rest?
Yeah, if you are not, I was just about to ask folks for who is driving and if anyone is keeping watch on anything. Ham, if you want to, it takes a couple hours, you learn, to get around the mountain. So if you in the back just want to like chill, close your eyes for a bit and just take a short rest, sure.
Yeah, I just want to do
Take
that
the hour.
after. I want to say I'll do that like for the first hour, but
Mhm.
afterwards, I kind of want to just walk alongside. I assume we're not galloping through, right? We're probably just
Sure.
so just kind of walk around the back end, just keeping an eye on our six.
Great. Anyone else during that hour that Ham is snoozling? Just because someone who is up front, go ahead and give me a perception check, and then Ham, give me a perception check as well, since you're specifically watching the six.
3.
I got
23.
I also got a 23.
23s all around. Nice. Yeah. Both of you do spot a shape. Higher up on the mountainside, you are in a very rocky area now. Lots of large boulders. It's one of the areas that you know that rock slides have happened before. Kyla points it out to the rest of the group. There isn't a drop off here per se, but you do see one coming up, maybe 200 or so feet, as you all notice this figure higher up. A large figure kind of emerges on top of one of these larger boulders and is just looking down. It looks to be humanoid, looking down at the carriage, and then tries to disappear, but you all watch as, not very dexterously at all, it kind of shimmies down, does a bit of a like slide on some rocks. The rocks go tumbling and kind of appears on top of another closer rock that you see. It is a hulking figure. As it's getting closer, you see it looks to be ogre of some kind. It's a little rough around the edges. He carries like a big, thick staff that, as he gets closer, you see is just a club that he's using as a staff. Seems to be a trend for people around here. And he actually kind of holds it up a bit and calls down to you. And you hear, "Boy, you's trespassing. Turn around."
Oh,
We're just trying to go through.
excuse us.
You can't. No. You's trespassing. No. He like tries to duck behind something else again. Again, that same sliding motion down the rocks, and tries to, you can tell he is trying to be stealthy and appear somewhere closer, and you see his every move.
How far away would you say he is from us?
At this point, he is getting within 50, soon to be 40 feet of you, and he's
Cool.
all trying to cut you off and be in the road in front of you.
Cool. I want to run up to him. My
Yeah, are
movement
you
speed
trying
is-
to like meet him on the mountainside, or just get in front and meet him on the road?
I want to meet him on the mountainside.
Great.
My movement is 50.
Yeah. You get up there. Go ahead and just give me an athletics, general athletics. It's not hard.
General athletics, 14.
14. Yeah. You you all see that Ham kind of just like takes off and is just vaulting off of rocks and going here to there to there. And you go and you see that this ogre at one point looks up and is a bit surprised to see you this close, and he kind of like readies this club walking stick at you. So that
Whoa. Friend, I really don't want us. I just turned to Bowman there for a second, by the way.
I love that.
Whoa.
I was like, what is happening?
We don't mean any harm. We're just trying to figure out what's going on with the mountain. And actually, I assume you're a native to these forests, right?
Make me a persuasion check as he makes that noise.
Persuasion. That was a 13.
13. Well, his insight was a natural 1, so he believes you. As he like, the club lowers a bit. It says, if you is nice people, he's not in a good mood today. Can't control his rage.
I'm sorry to cut in. He could
He's
you
not in a good
could
mood.
Are you referring to yourself?
No,
Oh,
who
okay.
who is he?
he is the Lord of Hooves and Thunder.
Oh.
He is Lord of these slopes. He is, and as he looks up, he kind of does a double take. His eyes get wide. He is here. You need to go now. Go.
Good
He's not in a good mood.
good
And he points
sir.
up the mountain.
Yeah, what is he looking at?
That's a great question. You look, and high up on this mountain, you see a massive shape.
Horse?
A bit.
Goat?
Certainly quadruped.
Oh.
But it is a little hard to tell at this angle. The sun is just getting past one of the peaks and causing a bit of just like weirdness going on. You're also closer to the mountain, and that weird fog, that weird cloud, you aren't at that level yet, but wisps of it are kind of starting to come down. And you aren't quite sure what you are looking at, but it does begin to move closer to you. At a pace that is with a display of just like poise and acrobatics as it moves down the mountainside using these enormous boulders kicking off of it. And you see a goat leaping from boulder to boulder.
Can I roll for animal handling?
Yeah,
See,
roll for animal handling.
see if I can befriend a goat.
Yeah, Kyella, go ahead and roll general perception.
Perception.
I got a 17.
Great.
I'm
25.
gonna
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say to the ogre, right. I'm sorry that the Lord is in a bad mood. However, he's taking his time coming down. See? So before we go, so as not to upset the Lord, could you tell us if you've seen any screamers? They're these undead
He isn't really paying
things.
attention to you that much. He keeps looking back at this goat that is gallivanting down the mountainside. However, when you
waving
do
at him.
say screamers, he turns and looks at you and his eyes are wide. And he says, that's why his good goatness is in a bad mood. Because the screamers, you need to. You look again at this goat. And Kyella, you also notice, coming down this mountain, this goat is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Cutie pie.
It is much larger than your carriage.
Oh.
It is much larger than the inn you were staying at.
Ah.
Oh.
It is, this party, we haven't ever played it before, really. This party has fought young dragons in the past. It's about the size of a young dragon, gallivanting down the slopes at you. And it's now close enough. Cam, you see, and Kyella, you also notice this. This is not a friendly looking goat. It is charging down the slopes at you. And there is a certain fire to its eyes, and you feel with each time these massive hooves are landing on boulders, your carriage shakes. And
There's the
dances
shaking
with music.
carriage.
There's the shaking carriage.
That's what it sounds like.
Sorry.
As it is galloping down at you. And you do not have many moments left until you are all thrown in this carriage down the mountainside. I need everyone to roll initiative.
I still think that we can make it our friend. Just saying.
I don't think that that's going to happen, but I like the positive thinking.
Is this goat a creature?
Everything
like a
is a
goat.
creature.
Okay,
Creature. Everything is a creature.
Yeah, in Dungeons and Dragons, like plant monsters are creatures.
Creature is just the general. It's a thing. It's alive.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing that you can roll against and isn't like a door. All right, we got our initiatives.
Yeah.
We're gonna go down 25 to 20. Yes, Tammy. 22.
21.
And 21 with Ham. All right. 20 to 15. Yeah, Mac.
18.
18. Tricks.
17.
17. Mac, what is your dexterity?
It is 2 plus 2, 15.
Great.
Okay, I don't know.
Ham, Mac. And Tricks, what was yours again? Did you say 15, was it?
It was 14.
14. Great.
My dexterity, you mean?
What'd you roll?
Initiative.
Oh, 17. 17.
17. Okay,
Uh-huh.
this still works out. Okay. 15 to 10. Kyla.
13.
All right. Yeah, Phineas.
10.
10. Finny. And the final, have we gotten everyone?
I think so.
We got everyone. All right, look at that. So, our initiative order is going to go Tammy, Ham, Mac, this goat, Trix, this ogre, Kyella, Phineas. So, Tammy, starting with you, you know you have just about 6 seconds left until this goat is currently on a trajectory to hit this cart.
And I'm driving, so I would like
And
to...
you are driving the cart.
Yeah!
All right. You get it to move forward. Fast speed?
Yeah.
All right. You barrel it forward towards where, oh no, Cam and the ogre are not in the road. So you just charge it forward. The cart, the horses are freaking out a little bit as there's a massive goat charging at them. Go ahead and just give me a free action animal handling check to maintain control of the horses.
17.
17. You are able to convince them to follow your commands. Do not panic yet. Use that panic to move. Anything else, Tammy? Any bonus actions or staying on the cart?
I think
Or I
I'm
guess
going to
you can use an action as well. You've got an action available.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just, I guess, hold a dodge action if I need
Okay.
to.
Sure. You are just readying yourself to leap off this cart
Uh-huh.
at high speeds or something else if something comes coming at you. All right, moving on to Ham. You are with an ogre and there's a big old goat.
Is the ogre aggressive towards me?
The ogre, go ahead and give me a free insight. No, you can see it. There's no way he can hide it. He was convinced by your words earlier you are a friend, but
Very
now he is concerned. He's very concerned for your safety and this goat.
I'm going to would it be an action to ask the ogre if there's anything that can calm the master down?
Unless it's a huge monologue, talking is free action.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask, what can we do to calm him down?
I don't know. I usually don't be around. He's angry.
Gotcha. Okay. How far away is he from Ham?
At this point, the goat or the ogre?
The goat.
The goat is getting to just about 40 feet
Great.
away from the cart. So away from you might be 20.
Awesome. I am going to run up. I'm going to jump.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to place my instant fortress on top of the goat.
Kill it!
Okay.
Oh
This
no!
is
Why are you killing
beautiful.
the goat?
Can you
read for me just so that we log it into the official record, the instant fortress real quick?
Do you want me? Okay, it's a long.
Yeah,
thing,
I know it's a
but
real long one. So basically, when you place it, a fortress springs into existence in that location.
Yes. So I have to use the command word, which I'll just say, pop out. Okay.
Great.
Each creature in the area where the fortress appears must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, taking 10d10 damage, bludgeoning damage on a failed save, or half on a successful save. In either case, the creature is pushed to an unoccupied space outside of the next outside or next to the fortress. Objects in the area aren't being worn or carried, take damage, and are pushed automatically.
Okay.
So you want to make that dexterity saving throw?
Yes, I do.
I'll get my d10s out.
I'm gonna use my royal purple dice.
So rude that you're trying to murder this goat.
A dex save?
Dex save.
Fantastic.
An aggressive.
That was going to be a 21. He rolled a natural 20.
So yes, +1.
Yes, he does.
That's
He's
amazing.
Big. He's
All right,
very
so
big.
He still takes half, and that's just an action. So I still have
Question, where are you when you are placing this?
above it. I'm like throwing it down on him, essentially.
I don't think you can jump high enough to get above him.
That's going to be
He's larger than the
how much
inn,
movement
Sam.
do you have?
I have 50, so I can move out of the radius.
I need you to, it's going to use your entirety of your speed. I think this is possible. I think it's going to have to be, you use your entirety of your speed to try to get higher than the goat, leap off of a boulder, and chuck it at the right place. I think that's how we're going to be able to do this. And then you will not be on top, but you'll still be outside of the range of the fortress, I believe.
Awesome. That sounds good to me. Can we just
I
say
want
that
to-
I'm falling?
Yeah, I want to reward this so badly.
All
This
right.
is chaos.
Sorry, I gotta find all my d10s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a reminder, there are a lot of loose boulders around.
Yeah, Tammy's moving the cart.
Yep, it's moving.
Yeah. If anybody, everyone
I'm
else
so
has to move
excited.
away.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Okay, I just gotta write all this down real quick. There's a lot of sixes. Just saying.
Okay. You meet a goat. You put a house on top of him. You're gonna Wizard of Oz my goat.
They put a house on someone in Wizard of Oz.
That's the
That's
start
the
of the
most
movie.
famous thing.
Yes, the
I
Ruby Red
literally have
Slippers.
never heard of Wizard
It's
of
the
Oz
Witch of the
before.
East.
All right,
Right.
let me pull up the calculator real quick.
Yeah.
How do you think Dorothy gets the ruby slippers, Zuzu?
She bought them on Amazon.
During Great Depression in Kansas.
Yeah, for $19.99. It was a Amazon deal on Amazon.
It was
Day.
Prime Day.
Not spawn. Hashtag not spawn.
That's fun.
God damn it! I hit divide by accident.
I'll take that number.
Nope.
Poor goat.
Can't believe you're murdering this poor goat.
It's a gigantic goat. Angry.
Probably
It's
also
just a
lost
goat.
its
I know,
family.
All
there
right.
you go.
All right, so full damage is
Uh-huh.
61.
Okay.
Half damage is. Are we rounding up or down?
Down because it doesn't completely
Gotcha.
reach the full amount of damage.
Okay, so 30.
Okay, I gotta actually write down. So it was a 21, so minus 30. Okay.
All right, and as a bonus action,
Yes.
I am going to become Big Ham.
Yeah. Everything's enlarging right now. There is a giant fortress that is springing up on the side of a mountain, which is at a bit of an angle, but I'm gonna say magic means that the fortress doesn't just topple off the mountain.
I assume it's all like Lego pieces where like there's just a base plate all together.
Yeah,
connected.
and it's just gonna chill there and somehow jut off at this little angle. So the goat was underneath it, but now gets shunt somewhere.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna just do cardinal directions, north, south. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll a d4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is closer to you in my mind of where this was. So there is a massive goat that is shot out from underneath your fortress that now just got shunt out at you. Doesn't make contact because this is ridiculous. It definitely hurt.
Aw.
This goat looks unscathed.
Nice.
As it wheels around and several of the boulders go toppling down the mountain. I'm gonna just do 3 total, and all rolled over 10, so the carriage is not hit.
You're welcome.
There it is. Anything else, Mac or Ham?
I don't think I can do anything. So.
All right, that moves us on to Mac.
So the goat.
There's a big fortress now.
But is the goat even still near us, like coming towards us? Or is he kind of just like, oh, I don't really care. Now there's a fortress.
Yeah, it's a little distracted by the thing and person that just hurt it.
Okay.
It's not currently focused on the carriage anymore.
Okay. How far away is it from me?
About 20 or so feet.
Okay. Can I try to banish it?
Yeah.
Charisma saving throw for the goat.
Charisma saving throw
Has to
for
be a 15.
the goat. That is going to be a 7.
Okay.
It is going to use a legendary resistance.
Oh, cute.
This motherfucking goat has legendary resistance.
Yes, it does.
That took
And you
the-
you sense this this bell goes off, and you're like, yes, it's gonna be successful. Get the heck out of here, buddy. And the goat just like looks around at you with just fucking pissed off goat
Me?
eyes, and basically gives you the goat equivalent of the finger, and then turns back to Ham, pissed.
just pissed off sideways eyes,
yeah,
Okay.
you get the goat side eye.
which is all their eyes.
Yeah.
The only eye.
Oh, the goat's
As a bonus action, I'd like. Oh wait, no, I can't. I can't cast a bonus action spell if I've cast a spell, right?
Correct.
Okay, never mind. I'm good.
All right.
I'm learning.
It is now the goat's turn. The goat is a bit miffed at you, Ham.
Why? Dude, nothing.
You look at this goat, this massive thing. Give me another animal handling check or insight, whichever's better.
Definitely my animal handling.
Great.
Okay, that was better than the last one. That's a dirty 20.
Fantastic. This is unlike any goat you have ever seen. There is an intelligence behind these crazy goat eyes. And it looks, I've been saying goat this entire time. It would be far more accurate to describe it as a ram or bighorn sheep style with these enormous, decadently curled horns. It's not the, vacant goat look. Sorry to all goat fans out there. There is a knowledge, an intelligence, and an awareness that you just put a thing on top of it. And you told that thing to hurt it. And it gallivants up the mountain at you, charging forward at you. It is going to make a ram attack against you. That is a terrible roll. 21 to hit.
That hits.
All right. You this thing collides into you. As let me get my little dicey dice together. You take 9. That is actually a 1. Very low roll. 20 points of bludgeoning damage. But he also moved 20 feet to reach. No. Not quite 20 feet because you fell from so he does not get the extra charge damage against you. Which is good. You do not have to do that. So, 20 points of bludgeoning damage against you.
Okay.
And he is now right up on you. He is engaged with you. You are engaged to a goat. And that is going to end its turn. Trix.
Let me know if I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at the goat. I'm going to. Trix is gonna cast command.
Okay.
And Trix is going to say communicate. And Trix is going to ask, why are you attacking us? Are you friends with the Screamers?
So try to command has to be, so we can do that. Command is a simple command. So if it's communicate, let's say it is a thing like tell us why you are attacking
It's supposed
us.
to be a single word. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Command, and we'll say like explain.
Explain. Yes.
Yeah.
Explain is better. Thank you. Explain.
Let's do explain. Is it a wisdom save?
It is wisdom save. Needs to be 15.
15. That is a 25.
Whoa.
Never mind. In that case, I'm going to what do I want to do? I'm gonna burn sorcery points so I can do another.
Oh, roll wild magic, please.
thing. Yeah. Oh yes. Thank you. Wild magic is gonna be. Oop, that was cocky. It's gonna be 35. What's 35?
35. Please roll. Yes, roll a d10 for me.
Okay. No. 5.
5. Okay. How old is Trix?
Trix is old. Trix is old for goblin standards.
Yeah.
I don't know how old goblins usually get, but
Ooh, we're
she's
testing me now.
towards the end of her life, probably.
Great. You suddenly feel a slight bit of youth return as you get younger by 1 year.
Wow.
By 5 years. You get younger by 5 years.
Oh, Trix has a little bit more of a spring
A
chicken
little more pep
step.
in the step.
A little more pep to the step. All
Is that
right.
forever?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. 5 years younger.
That's very cool.
Bowman needs that.
Trix is going to burn a sorcery point, so that was her bonus action.
Okay.
She is going to pull out her wand of fear, and she's going to use her wand of fear on the goat. It is a wisdom saving throw again.
Great. You wave the wand at it, and there is no effect.
Okay.
Fear.
All right. Yay.
All right. That moves us on to the ogre, who is looking at you, Ham, and goes, "No, stop, no, you can't win. The sublime goat will kill you. He's angry." No, he's gonna use his action to basically try to convince the goat to calm down. A persuasion check. That I missed my box. New dice. That's why we keep multiple. That is a 12. It does not work. And what else can he do as a bonus? He has no bonus actions. That's his turn. Kyella.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna try to shoot it with my +2 short bow.
Yeah.
So, say
Poing.
17 to hit.
17. The
Yeah.
arrow disappears into its fluff. 17 does not hit.
Okay. Is anybody hurt? Okay. I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Healing Spirit and send my Healing Spirit over to Ham.
Yeah, great. Just for flavor, what does your healing spirit look like?
A giant pork roast.
It looks like a goat. A giant goat.
What a coincidence!
Oh, but it is goat like I'm thinking like a fawn, like a small
Yeah.
deer.
Yeah, the peaceful
Yeah.
side of a goat.
Yes. Yes. The less terrifying
Yeah.
goat relative.
Ham, this little fawn kind of bounds up the rocks at you, kind of dips around this massive goat, and lands where you are, kind of sharing your space. And I believe immediately you restore.
4 hit points.
Oh, thank God. Thank you.
Huh? So this is a concentration?
Mm-hmm. So
So-
anytime you take damage, and you
As
can't
long as
cast
you're
any
in-
other...
As long as you're in the area of it, it can heal. It's 1 plus my spellcasting ability, minimum of twice. After that number of heals, the spirit disappears. So that's spellcasting. What does that mean? I'm
That'll
sorry.
be your wisdom modifier.
Wisdom. Okay, so it's 4 rounds of
Great.
healing.
Is that the 1 plus 4 or total
That's-
4?
It's 3 plus
Great.
4.
So
Or,
for
no,
4...
it's 1 plus 3. Yeah, so 4.
Great. So 4 rounds, you can send that to somewhere, or if someone enters that space, it can
Mhm.
heal those points,
long
and,
as I
and then
keep
it will
it
fade away.
concentrated.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Fantastic. Staying put in the carriage, Kayla?
Yes.
All right. That gets us to Phineas.
Okay. Phineas is going to get out of the carriage and move away from the carriage.
Okay.
First thing. Thing number 2, if I can do it as a free action, I'm just going to shout, stop attacking the goat. I am going to try to communicate with it. And then I'm going to cast the sending spell.
Yeah.
Because sending, as long as the goat has an intelligence of at least 1, it will understand my message.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
So, and I already wrote it out, so I know I'm under the 25 word limit.
Sure.
I wrote it
Sure.
out, it's 24 words. So I'm going to say, we are here to remove the threat the screamers pose to you. If you let us pass, we can stop them. You can reply.
Can you remind me, sending, bless you, sending, the magic of sending transcends language barriers, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Or at least that's how I interpret the spell enables creatures with an intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the
yeah, the magic transcends it. Roll me a persuasion check with advantage, please.
It's a natural 20.
There
Hell
it
yeah.
is.
22.
First one of the
22.
game.
The goat is about, it looks like it rears up and is about to do something. And Ham is right there. But as the spell lands, it seems to gently put its front hooves down, and it turns and looks to you. And you hear back, "You would do this, mortal. You would face the foulness of the Tempest's cradle, recover the cradle stone."
I'm going to say out loud, sounds like we got a truce with the goat. I'm going to bow slightly to the goat, and then I'll say in common, but I'll be attempting to like gesture, and I'll say, I can't do that again right now, but yes.
This makes me so happy.
Unless we're exiting initiative, and then I could burn another 3rd level spell slot, but I'd rather not. Cradle stone. We need to get a cradle stone. Yes, great goat. We will retrieve the cradle stone.
You hear the ogre go, "Sublime goat."
Sublime goat. We will retrieve the cradle stone.
Congratulations. Initiative ends.
Great. Real quick, got a couple things I want to do to this goat. I want to just run through all the speech, all the words, all the different languages that Ham knows. Common, deep speech, dwarvish, or giant, orc. Anything of those at all?
It stares at you.
Okay.
No response.
I'm going to gently headbutt it because it's a ram, and I'm just going to pick up my fortress and leave.
I have also
Kill
slowed the
him! Goat God,
Can
kill
you
him!
pick up the fortress?
Yeah, I can call it back.
Deactivate it.
Oh my god, I hate this thing. Incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What's
crazy? It's only rare. It's not like ultra rare or
Yeah,
anything.
10d10, that's insane.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say to the goat, I will say, if you can understand what I'm saying, dip your head, please. Sublime goat.
The goat doesn't dip its head at first. The ogre speaks up and says, he's not stupid.
What?
He's a god.
I can tell he's not stupid because I
The goat,
communicated
at that
with
point,
him magically.
Nods
All right.
to you.
Great.
Slowly. Actually, it's more of a curt nod. There is no reverence or respect given.
Yes.
With this
so
nod.
Excellent. So Sublime Goat, we will retrieve the Cradle Stone. The magic I used earlier to communicate with you is somewhat taxing, but if there is important information we need to know, I would be happy to use that magic again to allow you to communicate that with us.
The goat, the Sublime Goat, looks up to the mountain, to the peak that is completely obscured. He then looks to your carriage, to the road, and then you see. It's not that you understand what is being communicated to you, because the goat's just looking around, but somehow every single one of you at once are aware of the following instructions, almost telepathically. Continue on this road. Enter the orchid wood. Enter the temple. Reach the Cradle's summit. The goat then lets out a meh, turns, and begins galloping back up the mountainside. The ogre is a little stunned. Oh, thank you for calming the sublime goat.
Yes. Well, if you don't mind, your lord, the Sublime Goat, wants us to retrieve something for it, and he did tell us how to do so. So we will,
Of course,
continue on our way.
Continue on. I wish you well.
Do you?
And he turns.
Mr. Ogre, I'm sorry. Before you leave,
Goot.
The goat wants what?
My name, Goot.
Goot. My name is Phineas.
Hi.
So Goot, your master wants us to retrieve the Cradle Stone from the mountain.
Okay.
If we were to seek to return this to your master, where would we deliver it?
You can just bring it here. We have a lot of stones. It could go with those. He like points at the boulders.
Yeah. All right.
I need I need to tend to the flock.
Yep. Okay,
Bye.
let's go.
And he
goat.
like scrambles back up the mountainside after the sublime goat.
Right.
Could have taken him.
No.
Yep, totally
No,
could. Had a whole plan.
absolutely not.
Yeah, him. You really didn't need to go up to the goat like that.
We don't need to kill gods.
I wasn't
Right now.
planning on killing, but it would have been a great story.
All
to
right,
tell.
let's get
He
in.
would've-
Ham the
absolutely
God
abolished
Slayer.
Yeah.
He would have literally drove you into the ground.
Well,
He
you
would
know,
have stomped his great hooves all over your big head. He would have
we-
ate your limbs one by one.
Well, goats are vegetarian, so no, they wouldn't.
I think he'd make an exception for you.
Probably.
I think we should probably get back on the road. We have a princeling to save.
Yes.
I'm already in the carriage, so you're the one outside the carriage.
We have to. What were our instructions?
Follow the road
Yes.
to the Orchid Wood.
Yes.
Enter a temple there and reach the
Hmm.
summit. I would guess that there is a trail from said temple to the summit.
Yeah.
Does anyone know how much further the Orchid Wood is down the road?
You look, and Kyala, you look in particular. You see that this road does continue on this upper elevation for a bit, and then dips down to the other side of the lake, where you're almost to the other side of the lake. So it dips down, and continues around the base of Tempest Cradle, that main mountain. But you see that between the current mountain that you're on the side of and Tempest Cradle itself, there is a lot of trees that reach up to that low tree line that you noticed earlier. And it seems that there's a wood, there's a forest there.
Any guess at how long it will take us to get there, Kyella?
Would I be able to tell that from?
Yeah, you'll be there in a half hour,
Hmm,
Oh, wow.
Okay.
if not sooner. You
Well,
made it pretty far away.
let's press on then.
Yeah.
I spy with my little eye.
What do you
As
spy, Mac?
I get so stressed out when I have to be the one spying. Can someone else do it?
You started it.
I know, but someone else do it.
I spy with my little eye something gray.
Is
The
it my
Lord?
skin?
Is it the boulders?
It's the boulders.
Do you guys think that they call him a count because he's really good at counting things?
No.
No, it's a title of nobility, Ham.
Yeah, but like, what started it?
You know, I don't know the etymology of that
Probably
word.
somebody who's good at counting things.
Well,
Maybe they were like, well, we could probably count on them to not ever be on the throne. It's kind of far down the line.
So they made a title for somebody who was not supposed to be important enough.
So,
I like that idea.
Good like that.
so we've got a little time. Can I work on my comedy set a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna like close the window.
Yeah. Oh my god, make a stealth check.
can I help her?
Yeah, at advantage.
Who's in the carriage first?
You, me, and Trix.
Okay.
It's a non-natural 20.
Phineas, do you notice? Passive perception. You're telling a
Passive
joke.
perception, I don't.
All right. The
Andy,
guys up
good
front,
outlet
you
for
just
him.
hear muffled.
Yeah. The joke is, will glass coffins be a success? Remains to be seen.
Is what they hear.
Yeah, you just hear muffled.
than anything I ever heard in hell, my friend.
Well, I do think
What
that
actors?
my skeleton puns are very humorous.
Good fucking.
I don't know what that means, but your delivery.
What?
You think Ham knows what the humorous is?
Oh, but you would know what the word humorous means.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That said, those are the only jokes I'll pull out right now.
Incredible.
But I assume he's running through the set with Trix
Yeah.
and Ham in the back the rest of the way.
Absolutely.
Trix,
The
can you roll
cart-
a insanity check? Just to check. Just to check.
The cart does eventually reach the edge of these woods. Instantly, you notice the trees here carry something different to them. Kyla, give me a nature or
Survival?
survival or perception, whichever's better for you.
Not great. It's 15.
15.
Not terrible.
You notice these trees they're not unique to the area, but there's something very different about them. You do recognize the same species of trees. They are familiar, but kind of like the forest on the other side of the lake, there are flowers that you do not recognize. And in particular, some of the trees have flowers growing on their bark that are flashes of color deeper within the tree line itself. And you are looking at them as the cart is approaching the edge, and you do see that there might be a path to pick through the woods, but it doesn't look like it's something a cart is going to fit through.
I'm gonna try to stop the cart.
Yeah.
And tell Tammy that, hey, I think we need to stop here, and I believe we need to follow that trail there.
So you got it. Go on foot.
Yes, we'll be on foot from here. I'll slide open the little window to the books.
Oh, I didn't realize you had closed the window.
I think it like flew closed while I was running with the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Phineas, you should say your jokes that you said before.
Yeah,
They missed
did
it.
it.
Actually,
It was
Kayla
a
has some
full,
really
important
half-hour
to go.
set, and
Yeah.
you're right. There are pressing matters, but I think it's a good set. It is a good set.
If we make
Kyla,
it past this whole thing, I want to hear it.
I have been working really hard on my delivery, so
Yeah, well, I'm sure that it's getting better.
I think my voice is full of emotion compared to how it used to be. So
It's better and better
Tricks.
every day, Finny.
Trix, can you give me a perception check, please?
Why is my perception so bad? Okay.
Because you're little.
7!
7. Good to know. Carry on.
Oh,
Oh no. We need to go.
yes, let's go.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna tie the horses to
Sure.
a tree on the
Of course.
edge.
let's
Yeah.
leave them some food and water.
You tie them to a tree that has several of these beautiful flowers on it. There are some white ones, some orange ones that are kind of like growing onto the side of these trees, thick roots just kind of weaving between the bark and just holding on.
Hey Kayla,
Sending
are
out
these
stalks.
poisonous?
Yeah, I don't want them to be poisonous.
Can I
Mac's gonna pick one up and
act
start
on
eating.
them to
Yeah,
see
give me an intelligence check. Mac, you eat?
Yeah, I eat white flowers.
like
Uh,
straight
can I
healthy?
stop Mac from eating it?
Oh.
I'm really concerned about the horses getting sick.
Mac, don't eat the flowers.
Sorry, in my mouth.
We need
It's just
to...
a straight intelligence check, Matt.
Straight intelligence check.
4.
4. No idea.
I've never seen these before.
Mac, if
But they
you
are pretty. I'm gonna
Mac,
like take a
spit
few
it-
and just like
spit
shove
it
them in
out.
my head.
Spit it out. This is the type of thing that
I was
Cam
the
would do.
chaos
Spit it
one.
out.
Put it
it's
out. But I'm
official.
gonna say, then we can't leave the horses tied here.
We have Mac. The horses actually probably know better than you if these are poisonous or not.
Would
Oh,
you
yeah, don't
rather
think
if
about
I
real fast.
banish the horses?
No.
To a random plane of
That would
existence.
only be
let's
for a
go.
minute.
That's only for a minute.
There's
Mac,
more important matters.
I'm
at
gonna
hand.
just
Mac.
start walking away from the group, following the trail.
which color flower?
White.
White.
I swear to God, if you get
Constitution
yourself...
saving throw, please.
You're our
Violet.
healer. You're the one who has Revivify.
Dead.
Okay. 21, bitches. Oh, that's not
21.
good. The one time I
that is a success.
rolled. Okay.
You are able to spit the flower out, quote unquote, in time. Who knows? Nothing happens.
Severe diarrhea in 5 hours.
I'm following Kyella now.
As we're walking up this trail,
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I would like to just keep a loose eye out for
Yeah,
the
give me a
figure I
perception
saw
check.
before in
Oh,
the
yeah.
in the village.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the Oracle, but it is weird that she appeared like the Moon Mother. That is a 20. 16. I almost said 26. I know.
Holy shit.
No,
16. The path that you guys are walking on, I'll just kind of describe a bit. Immediately underneath these trees, it is a cool breeze. Oh, hey, that right. It is refreshing. It isn't the chill, uncomfortable air at times that like kind of is a little too cold in the lungs, like you've been used to. This is lush, air filled with life, almost a comfort. And as you're walking, this path itself kind of meanders through the woods and at times crosses over a stream. Mountain stream that's collecting between the two mountains. And it babbles along happily to the lake below. And in clusters, in patches of sunlight, especially near these sources of water, you see these same flowers. White ones, orange ones. At other times it'll be blues, purples, reds. And they grow in clusters. Several of these same flowers all together at once. Sometimes taking up the entirety of a rock. Big leaves. And Kyle, you can identify these as different types of orchids. You've never seen anything like this quite before. There's a vibrance to these that you're unfamiliar with. It's fascinating. There are a few times, Phineas, that you spot shrubs that don't seem quite right, and you are able to navigate the party around them. And keeping an eye on them, you notice that they were laying on the path, almost in ambush, in case someone or something walked by. And you notice that near those shrubs, some small trees, there are no flowers. But in patches where there are flowers, you don't see any suspicious, I guess, vegetation. You don't see any figures that you're looking for either. You don't see the oracle, but you do spot something else. There's a branch covering over the path that you guys are walking on, and sitting on top of the branch is a little, looks like a figurine or a doll. A simple made, like corn husk doll, just propped on the branch.
I would like to stop everyone like a good
Mhm.
distance back from where
Yeah.
this is. And then I'm going to cast Mage Hand
Mm-hmm.
to try to pull the doll down.
Yeah. Cast the spectral hand. You all watch as it moves up forward, and the moment the hand gets to the doll, it disappears.
Okay.
The hand passes through nothing.
Can the doll disappears?
The doll disappears.
Good.
You
Am
look
I
around, the rest of you
only-
look around. You all saw it. You all saw it disappear. You don't see it anywhere else.
Based on the glimpse I got of it, does
Mhm.
it look like any iconography I'm familiar with?
No, it was far too crude for anything to be on it. It was like a poor child's like doll. There's nothing special about it looking at it. It's just a doll.
Right. Well, keep an eye out for dolls, everyone.
You press forward. Several other of these calming patches of these flowers. Now you're not as focused on it because now you're looking for dolls. You look and let me see here. Tricks, coming back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You spot a doll, but this one is a little nicer. Maybe 5 or so minutes later as you guys are walking.
Okay.
This one isn't as crude. It doesn't have as many like things sticking out, right? There are a couple places where there's some straw or something jutting out of like this sewn figurine, but this one looks hand sewn. Still a doll, still just a humanoid basic shape. This one is rested at the foot of a trunk. Just one arm up.
I'll do the same thing that Phineas did. Trix is gonna cast Mage Hand
Mm-hmm.
and have a Mage Hand go towards it as well.
Hovers. You go to touch it.
Yeah.
Go to touch it. It disappears again right as the mage hand goes through it.
I don't know what's going on, but it looks like the dolls are getting nicer as we go.
I wonder if they have some. Look, I don't want to count anything out. We just met an intelligent goat that was the size of a house.
It's true.
I think it might be worth the next time we see one of these dolls to attempt to use the message cantrip to communicate with one.
Oh, that would be smart. Okay.
You don't see another for 20 or so more minutes. But eventually, you do. Kyla, you spot one. This one is across the way, across the other side of this stream that you seem to be following, on top of a rock, perched in the middle of a cluster of blue orchids. And it is just kind of sitting there. Both arms are up. And it has a couple like small like buttercups growing on top of the head.
Shall we try speaking to this one?
I don't see what harm that could do.
I'll cast the message cantrip towards the
Mhm.
doll.
You send a message to it. You don't find any response to whatever message you do send. As if there's nothing there.
Right, the doll. There's no intelligence to this doll.
There's no intelligence
There's
to the doll.
nothing going on there, folks. It's just a weird, creepy magic doll that is, just kind of showing up sometimes.
Can I try to like touch it? Like actually touch it?
Yeah. You go over and you kind of hop across some stones a little bit. One of them's a little slippery. You catch yourself. You're a monk. You reach the doll and go to touch it. The moment your finger goes to touch, it disappears, just like the mage hand. It's just the cluster of blue flowers left.
Can I pick a blue flower?
Yeah. You reach out, you find a particularly nice one. Pluck it.
Has it always been blue flowers?
You've seen several different colors of flowers. The first
Okay.
ones were white and orange.
Yeah. I just
blue,
mean when the
red.
dolls disappear.
Oh, yeah. This is the only one that's been interacting with flowers. Perchance you haven't noticed any pattern.
All right.
As you turn to continue, did I really? Tricks. You do see another one. Another doll. This one is in the middle of the road, the path ahead of you, and you are pretty sure it wasn't there when you were looking ahead before. But then when you were looking across the stream, you looked back. There it is. This one is much more complete. It's still... This one looks like to be filled with maybe some sort of cotton, some sort of fluffy substance of some kind. The quality, as you noticed earlier, the quality of this doll has increased. And there are actually features on it. There's a crude smiley face. And it's wearing an outfit that matches yours.
Oh no.
Ew, I hate that.
Is someone there? Anyone there?
All out.
Hello?
No movement, no response. The
I'm
doll remains.
gonna cast Create Bonfire, but I'm not gonna cast it on the doll itself. I'm gonna cast it right next to the doll to see if that does anything.
If you can like catch it,
Mm-hmm.
something. You create fire erupts from the path just off the side of it. There are a couple of plants on the other side that you see suffer. The doll remains. Little bits of it do start to catch, and you see that it doesn't burn entirely, but what you do see left behind are two little spots that are burning right on the top of the head, kind of like horns.
Can I use magic awareness? Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Do you want to read the description for you?
Yeah, please.
As an action, you can open your awareness to a presence of concentrated magic until the end of your next turn. You know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover. When you sense a spell, you learn which school of magic it belongs to.
Okay.
Basically detect magic.
Yeah, it's a detect magic. Great. Evocation, there's a bonfire there right now. The doll, certainly magical. 100% magic. Also, evocation.
But no location.
I would
No
like.
location other than it's just you can tell it is a magic. There is magic emanating from the doll. Ooh, it is not evocation. I'm sorry. Think about my schools again. I'm gonna call it conjuration.
I would like to make an Arcana check to see if I know of any magical phenomenon that might potentially be related to something like this.
Yeah,
The doll humanoid?
it is.
That is a 24.
24. You've heard of doll, like magical artifacts and stuff before. With the 24, you do put together the mimicry that seems to be with Trix's outfit. And you also put together that it was Kaela that spotted the one that had flowers. They seem to be mimicking a rough theory. You don't have much to go on, but perhaps they are mimicking you.
Could I try to cast hold person so that someone can maybe touch it without it going away?
Yeah. You go to
Alright.
cast hold person. It's cast,
I'll go
but
touch it.
you don't sense that there was a target for it
Okay.
to latch upon. As you finish casting the spell, and kind of release it with its like failure, the doll disappears.
We can't do anything about these dolls right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
let's
just
keep
gotta keep
going.
walking.
You just gotta keep going.
You push on, and you do see Ham. You notice a doll that begins to look a lot like you. It is relaxing on a big wide leaf in a like spot of sunlight, flowers all around it. Tammy, you notice one that is posed to be leaping, balanced perfectly on top of a very thin branch. You just kind of watch as it goes by. Phineas, eventually you notice one that is rotting. It was a pristine porcelain doll with holes in it. And the cloth that is on it is decaying.
I'll pull my hood a little, tighter
Yeah.
about my face, and then I'll I'll call out, whoever's conjuring the dolls, that was kind of rude of you.
A minute later, you see another doll. Its hood higher and one hand like this, hauled up like it's calling.
You mother.
Each of you begin to see dolls that look like identical miniature versions of yourself,
Do we see
just along
the
the path.
ones that look like the other people?
Yes,
Okay.
all of you see all of them.
Okay.
Can I throw my boomerang at the ones that look like me?
Yeah, for sure. You and whether you miss, hit, your boomerang comes back. You can try again. As soon as it goes through, it always disappears.
They're not doing anything.
Let's just go to the temple. Let's hurry up. I'm just gonna pretend like I don't see those dolls. They
Mhm.
are creeping me out, but
They're not that creepy. They're kind of cute.
they're copying us.
So
there's nothing good that copies us.
You know,
I don't know.
imitation is the
Self-reflection.
highest form of flattery.
As we're walking,
You remember that like group of illusionist wizards that we fought like ages ago? They
Oh
were
my
like
God.
controlling, that whole city from the shadows, and they made like
Gosh.
copies of us that besmirched our good name and got us in trouble with the law.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but these dolls are more like kids. They're
I
just
don't
like
trust it.
dressing up like
No.
us. Mimicry is the
No.
first teacher.
Dolls are
can I do
creepy.
something?
Mm-hmm.
As we're walking, can I cast minor illusion to look like like miniature versions of the screamers, similar to the dolls, but like in different forms that I saw, to see if anything happens with the dolls?
Just
Now
a small
that's
screamer.
interesting. So you're casting like doll versions of the screamers that you saw? Roll me. I would do Arcana. Just roll me again another charisma check. This is brilliant. Add your proficiency bonus.
I got a nat 20.
Yes, you
Plus
did.
5 for
Yes,
25.
You did.
Want to verify?
I can see it.
You cast one. This replica. You don't see. Nothing particularly happens as you walk by. You try it again another place. It's a cantrip, right? You just throw it up whenever.
I just do it. Yep.
Just keep doing it and having that presence be around. And eventually all of you see doll replicas of yourselves cowering in fear as there are screamer dolls. 4 of them. 2 in the front and 2 in the back around your group. The screamers in that like rigid pose that you saw right before they left.
Can I cast minor illusion of us killing the screamers?
Absolutely. You cast it and you put it over top that same scene of stabbing through, and you decide to omit the whole Rufus bit. And you recreate this scene, and the dolls seem to vanish. You go, okay, so you drop the minor illusion, and then you notice that the dolls are assuming the exact positions that your minor illusion had assumed. This time, the dolls are winning, mimicking exactly what you would cast.
Well, that's interesting. That's all I've got. Let's
just keep walking.
You all stare at that for a moment. For continuing on, you do see a clearing coming up. You creep, you slow your pace. You're very careful and kind of take in the surroundings. There is, in the middle of this clearing, what looks like an obelisk of stone, rough, hewn, that looks very similar to one of the stones, Ham, that you saw just outside the village. But this is a much larger scale, just one pinnacle jutting up. It is covered in all the types of orchids that you have seen. The sun is shining on this spot. There are pools of water collected in little stone basins and in little divots, natural divots in the soil. It's a beautiful little spot. As you guys look around, you notice the backside of this pinnacle. There's an opening. Over top the opening is a familiar statue, hooded, hands outreached, bent over slightly. Carved into the stone, and underneath this figure, an entranceway and steps that lead into darkness.
I
Well,
think we need to go in.
I believe this is the temple. Yep. That is the Moon Mother, so guess we should see what she has in store for us.
One by one, you descend into the darkness underneath the Moon Mother's open hands. Macintosh, you catch a glimpse out of the corner of your eye of a doll that looks like you, holding a small symbol of maybe a moon in eclipse in a hand.
Before I go in, can I reach up to the statue?
Mm-hmm.
I want to put like a little gold piece in there.
Yeah, you have to clamber up a bit, but you do leave an offering.
Just say a little prayer before I go in.
Mm-hmm. Before following everyone else inside to whatever awaits in the darkness. And that's where we're going to pick up our next time around. Thank you everyone so much for sticking with us and going on that crazy adventure.
Creepy.
Let's see if it gets a little crazier. All right, we should see you all next week for one more little arc of our miniseries. Miniseries?
Miniseries.
Stop while you're ahead. Take care, all. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.